welcome back to some more geometry. Today we are looking at 1-6, locating points on a coordinate plane. This assignment in this lesson is not that different from 1-5. So you guys who did 1-5 previously, you should hopefully already recognize this. But we did this as a warm-up to kind of understand what we're doing. In 1-5, we talked about how we have numbers on a number line. We have our first number, we call that our x1. Our second number is our x2. That's where we get these x1s and 2s. And our a over b in this formula was our fraction a over b right here. So in this particular problem, we're looking for some point y that is 2/3 the way to z from x to y. So looking at the formula, we're going to plug in the numbers we know. We know that x1 is -5. Our fraction, as said, is 2/3. And our x2 is, of course, 10. And our x1 is a -5. So 10 minus a -5, we simplify our parentheses first. And we end up having 15, y'all. 15. 2/3 plus a -5. We will reduce this. 3 goes into 15 5 times, and then 5 times 2 gives us 10. That's where we get the 10. That question was asked a lot. Where do we get the number? Understand, you can either multiply first, then divide, or divide first, then multiply. I like to reduce the numbers and then do that. We got a -5 plus 10. We end up having a 5. 5 is our final answer. Alright, so today's lesson is very much the same thing here. We have our x's right here, what we've been doing, but now we're bringing in the y because we are working in a coordinate plane. Remember, coordinate planes have x's and y's. Now our x1, y1 comes from the first term, our x2, y2 comes from the second term. It doesn't matter which one you call 1s and 2 as long as you call both of them x, y, 2s and x1. 1s, or you can call these the 2s and these the 1s. So either way, once you have denounced which one's which, we're going to go ahead and put it in our formulas down here. So we're going to do all x's in 1. So I'm going to do these in red. Our x1, like it says, is -7 here. So we got -7 plus the fraction they asked us, 3/4. Parentheses are x2, which is 6 to us, minus our x1, which is a -7. Alright, we simplify the like terms inside. We got 6 minus a -7. We end up having 13. In the parentheses, we still got our 3/4. And then, of course, our 7 out here, our -7. Now, we can't simplify this. 3 does not go into, or 4 does not go into 13 evenly. So, we'll multiply 3 with 13. We end up getting 39/4 plus -7. Luckily, this is a nice decimal answer. So when you simplify this, so when you reduce that, 39/4 becomes 9.75. So we have -7 plus 9.75. We add them together, we're going to get the answer. We end up getting the answer 2.75. That is the value of our x. So x equals that. Let's do our y now. So our y, similar manner here. Oh, interesting. Put that right there. Okay, our y does this. So we got y1 plus a over b, parentheses y2 minus y1. So here's our numbers. We're going to use our y1, -5, plus our fraction 3/4. Now we got y2, which is an 8, minus our y1, which is a -5. All right. Start with the parentheses, 8 minus a -5. Same thing, we get 13. I don't know how I did that to myself. Give myself an odd number like that, but I did. Same thing right here. We can't reduce the 4 to 13, so we're going to multiply like terms on top. So we end up getting, it's an equal sign, -5 plus 39/4. Just like before, that does reduce to a really nice decimal number. So you end up having -5 plus 9.75. Add those two up, you're going to getting 4.75. That's the value to our y here. So that's the answer. Now, the answer is both of them together. So we will write this as parentheses 2.75 comma 4.75. Again, this is called order. It's an order pair. This is how you're supposed to start graphing. When you graph them, that's how you do it. You go 2 and it's 7.5, and then up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 0.75. There's my point. That's my value of C here. That's my value of C. All right, so you can try this one for yourself. Hopefully you remember. You should get the answer if I remember correctly. Ooh, let me double check. You got 6. You should get -2 and 1. You should get -1 for x. If you do it right, you should get -1 for x. And then for y, 5. You should get -3. So that should be your answers for this if you do it correctly. On the next one, so just like we did ratios in the last section just for x, we're doing ratios for both x's and y's. So we have the original formula that we did on 1.5, and then we're adding our y formula here. It looks very much the same, as you can see. The only difference here is you have y's instead of x's. Now, our m and our n comes from our ratio. This is our ratio m. This is our ratio n right here. That's where we get these values that would go, and they go in that order, m, colon, n. So we still got our x1, y1, and x2, y2, x2, y2. As we put this in the equation, we'll have our n value, which is 2. This is where a lot of confusion happens because we use the second one first, but just write this down, keep it with you. It really helps out to have it. So we got 2 times our -5 plus our 1 times our x2, which is 6 in this problem, all over 1 plus 2, our m plus our n. And then I'm going to go ahead and write the y1 so you can see that as well. Our y1 will be 2 times a -2 plus 1 times a 2 all over 1 plus 2 as well. So as we work this out, we'll multiply 2 times -5, we get a -10. And then 1 times 6, we get 6 all over 3. We reduce that. We add the like terms, -10 plus 6. We end up getting -4 over 3. Now, because this is a ugly decimal number, we can leave the answer like that, and that's perfectly fine. We'll take it. Let's look at the y, see what happens over here. So we got 2 times a -2. We got -4 plus 1 times 2, which is 2 all over 3 as well. Well, -2 plus 2 gives us a it's a -2. -4 plus 2 is -2 over 3. Same thing like the last one. That's an ugly decimal number, so we'll leave it as a fraction. This is a perfectly good answer, so we write this as -4 over 3, comma, -2 over 3. And that's your answer for this one. Your practice one, I think I'm going to go ahead and do this one because for some reason we kept missing it in the other classes. We're going to use this as a practice. Again, this time they switched this on you, so this is still your m, and this is still your n, but the numbers switch compared to the last one. So don't let that confuse you. All right, so let's work this problem out as well. Here, we got our x1, y1, x2, y2. So when we go to do this, we'll do our n times our x1. So we'll do 1 times -2 plus our m, 2 times our x2, 4, all over 2 plus 1. For our y values, we'll have 1 times our y1, which is -5, plus 2 times our y2 value, which is 7, all over 2 plus 1. Same thing here. So we simplify this. Well, 1 times a -2, we get -2. And then 2 times 4, we get an 8. An 8 all over 3. -2 plus 8 is, of course, a 6 over 3, which becomes the number 2. Look at that. Nice, good, even number. Love it. Here we got 1 times a -5. We got a -5 plus 2 times 7, which gives us a 14 over 3. 5 and 14 gives us 9 over 3. Again, another beautiful, nice, even number. So we have the number 2 and 3. That's our order pair. So we got 2, 3. That's our answer right there. When we go to graph it, which you don't have to graph it in your homework unless it asks you, but if we were graphing it just to see where that's at, it'll be at 2, 1, 2, 3 right there. So that this point S has a ratio of 2 to 1 right here. So this is twice the size of this one. So if you think about it, it's kind of broken up into 3 parts. 2 of them are one side, 1 of them is on one side. That's how you get that. But hopefully that helps. That is the assignment. The assignment is due at the end of the week. So y'all have a great day. Bye.